Hey guys, good morning. Good morning, Kickstart day number 2. I thought we'd just start with just having a little bit of a boogie straight up, right? So straight into it. Bit of Motown, always a good start for a morning. So I think sometimes, if you haven't met me before, I love dancing, right? We need to dance. We need to dance. So this Kickstart this week is picking different topics that are going to make a difference in your world this week, whether it be change of energy. So scoop, 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 scoop. So if you're just tuning in going, what the hell is going on? What is she doing, right? So day 2, it's about creating the best day, your best day, right? Starting your day off the way you want to start it off, not just doing all the things and all the shoulds, right? So if you can come up with ways to create a different energy or different vibe or start your day off in a way that makes you feel great, especially with all the the news, the media, if we can put the radio on, put the music on, it just gives you a different focus. So I think if you can find a way to lift your energy, your vibe, just by moving, getting out of your head, using nature, right? Going outside, getting some sunshine. That's probably the most simplest way to change your energy in a day. But I want to talk about when we stop dancing. I want to stop and talk to you about creating some routines in your day that will help you simplify what you're doing, not add more in, not make it about pleasing everyone and doing all the shoulds, but really just coming back to you and doing the things that make you feel happy, even in lockdown, right? Even when you can do bugger all, pretty much. Yes? If you can find a way, like I said, just to zone out, protect your energy, don't let anybody in, just protect it, zone out, do what you can to make you feel good. And if it means dancing, I used to do it a lot when I was younger, so I would put the radio on before I'd go to work, but I probably already had gone for a run before that as well. Most mornings I would run or walk. I don't think I walked anywhere actually, I'm pretty sure I ran everywhere. But I'd always have the radio on while I was getting ready for work. It made a massive difference. I had so much energy back then. There was nothing that was getting in my way. There was nothing that was wrecking my day because I could do that clearly. I had no children then. Could do that. It's a different life course. But there is some key ways and maybe things that you've forgotten about that you would have done a long time ago that you could bring back in, that you could go back to in your toolkit. And that's what I want to talk to you about, is what's in that toolkit, but also structuring your day with some positives, yeah? And I've got a daily checklist to give you some ideas, but you can add your own ideas in. So that's our little dance session for this morning. Now I'm going to sit with you and we're just going to talk. I'm going to turn this music off. It's not always good. Oh, a bit of AC/DC. It's a bit early maybe for that, but it isn't bad to have that. It's a different vibe. And scientifically, and I will tell you, scientifically, the whole world's vibrating on a megahertz. Music has a certain type of megahertz. Our heart, our brain, our body has a certain type of megahertz, right? So what happens is we can actually, that's why meditation works, that's why yoga works. There are certain things that vibrate differently in our psyche, in our body. Scientifically, it is a game changer. So if you can use something that changes your vibration and you can feel the difference, it is actually literally changing you, and it is really good for you. So like I read something the other day, even a body with COVID, I think they had a megahertz of about 2, right? So they had even different types of megahertz based on the science of how our bodies vibrate, right? The whole universe is vibration, right? So if you're into a bit of woo-woo, there's a little interesting fact for you that is really helpful. But that's why meditation, because it's at a certain level, it has a certain megahertz. And I believe, and I'll have to put it in the comments what our heart is. So love, happiness, joy, things like that, like the really positive stuff, that actually changes your vibration. That has a higher megahertz than, say, depression, anxiety, which makes sense, right? Because it's like a no-brainer in that fact. But you know, anger, guilt, shame, all that has a different megahertz in our body. So that's why it's so important to be able to not control, but you can affect. You can make these things helpful. You can affect. And vibration, raising the vibe, lifting your energy, changing your physical mindset, makes a big difference. That's why I always talk about getting out of your head, into your body, using nature, using sunshine, using, you know, hugs with the pets, whatever it is to change your energy, right? So that's what I want to talk to you about today. But what I did want to also say is, so how does if we were to create, I'm going to turn AC/DC off. If we were to create a perfect day for you, and not even perfect, I don't like the word perfect. If we were to create your best day, so let's look in the future even. I know that right now we're all struggling in certain ways, but if you were to look a bit further into the future, and I'll have to have a look at the comments because hello Julie, how are you? I was going to say I don't have my glasses on, but I can see something there. That is it is a true fact. So you can do a bit of research yourself if you don't believe me on the megahertz thing. But I'll actually find some information and I'll post it on what happens to our body when we do these things, when we're raising our vibration. So the other thing I wanted to talk about is, so I've got like a little bit of a checklist, right? So in your perfect or your best day, what would you have in there? Would you have hydration? Obviously, you would have maybe a nice breakfast or lunch at least. You may have a bit of exercise, whether it be walking or dancing or whatever. It might be that you've walked the dog. It might be that you've started your day on point, like with work. You've actually had some time, you've maybe planned it the night before. It might be that you've actually done a bit of writing. I don't know, maybe you've got to plan out your day, plan out your meals for the week, whatever, right? I don't know. So what would holistically, if we were to look at a good day, what it would feel like, what it would look like for you, what would that vision be? I mean, for me, it would be waking up near a beach. Waking up near a beach in warm weather, going for a walk, going out to breakfast. That would be my ideal day, right? But obviously we're not going to have ideals. We're not going to have everything we want right now. However, in saying that, like, if we were to create a better day, because how we start our day counts, right? If you're starting your day feeling down, or you've spent some time thinking about yesterday or something that happened last week, or stewing on something overnight because you didn't sleep well. So I guess that's the other point. To have your best day, you have to have your best sleep. So you've got to kind of work on a few things if you're struggling. I think I did read somewhere that I think I don't know if it's the first 18 seconds of when we wake up, our mind naturally goes backward to yesterday or the past. And that's when we might get stuck in a little loop in our head before we've even gotten out of bed. And then we wonder why our energy is crap, because we've already gone, maybe it was something stressful or awful, or you were thinking about something. If we can kind of be aware of that, so that before you even get up, have you affected your energy? Have you looked at Facebook? Have you, decided that it's a glum, crappy day or it's raining? I don't know. Do you understand what I mean about your energy? The minute you start thinking, that's your energy point. That's where you're going to be, unless you can keep moving, right? Keep moving. Don't think about something that happened yesterday that you were unhappy with. That's going to affect your mood. I think it's just being aware and learning this skill, right? So being in the now, learning to focus on what you're doing right now, or what you're going to do even. What will I do? What's my morning look like? So I want you to have a think about what that might look like for you. Even if you wrote out what a day would look like, your ideal day or your best day, even if it's just the start, like the first hour. How about we break it down to the first hour? What would happen in that first hour that could make you feel better for the rest of the day? Because what happens is, you've probably seen the quotes, your thoughts affect the rest of your day. I'll find that meme too. My memory's so bad lately. One small thought can make a big difference. One small positive thought can make a big difference to the rest of your day, right? If you have a negative thought, that can also make a big difference to the rest of your day, in the fact that it won't be very much fun if you've already started that way. Does that make sense? Especially if you don't know how to switch that off and you don't know how to snap out of that and to move forward. So I'll post the visual, which is like, I've broken it into some habits, right? So into some areas, sorry, I wouldn't say habits, areas. So, relaxation, nutrition. So it's looking at your day from a holistic point of view. Self-care. Self-care is very important because that gives you power back, right? So you're back focused inward again, not outward. So if you think of self-care as not just, for other people or for just getting your nails done or whatever, it's actually not. It's about tuning back into you and saying, well, every morning, what do I need to do today for me? What do I need to do today to make me feel better? Or even now, right now, today, this morning, my first hour. Trying to pinpoint that will be really helpful. And if that's what you ask yourself every morning, you're already inward, you're already focused on you, you're going to move forward more mindfully, thinking about how you want to feel and how you want that day to be or that next hour to be, right? And look, I do understand that when there's stress and when you're down, it's very tough. And I know when I had the little kids, it was very reactive life, and I never had time to go, what will I do today? What will my day be like today? I did think that every friggin' day though. It's what am I going to be faced with today? What is my day going to be like today? So it'd be almost a dread, right? So thankfully, I don't have those feelings anymore, or very often. But that is a thing, right? Especially if you're not working, or you're working at home, or whatever your situation is, right? Everyone's got a different situation. I just don't want you to even worry about and compare, because no one's in a good position most of the time. Everyone's got their stuff. So it's about making that happy place, even amongst the stuff, right? Not waiting for it to get better, not waiting for you to get better, not waiting for things to go away or sort themselves out, because you can't have your happiness depending on something, right? It's got to come from you. It's got to come from you doing things that make you happy, independently of what is happening out there in the world. Yeah? So that's what I wanted, So I'll post the picture. Like I said, I've broken it into 5 or 6 areas, and that is self-care, habits, nutrition, rest, which is your spiritual space, like if you're doing meditation or you're doing nature or whatever you're doing for calm. So there was, reducing overwhelm is really important. So what are you doing for calm? How are you bringing that nervous system back down, rather than being up here as, all your hormones and your cortisol and your stress hormones that are dumping insulin and putting on weight. There's all these things that are happening, and they're usually resulting from stress, right? So how are we keeping that down? How are we reducing the stress? What is your strategy around that? So if you want to talk to me about any of those things, about creating your day, redesigning your day, message me and let me know, or let me know what maybe the first hour would look like for you on your perfect day, or maybe what it looks like now and you'd like some help around putting some goodness in there. Maybe there's not enough positivity or fun or goodness in there for you. So maybe we can create a self-care routine. So it could be a routine for your night. It could be a routine for your sleep. It could be a routine for your lunchtime, your morning. There's lots of areas in our day that need a little bit of care and could probably do with a bit more love. So if there's something I can do to help you with that, message me, let me know. yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about today. I mean, if you wanted to work on one-on-one, or there will be some group offerings coming up soon. The membership's there as well as a group offering. So one-on-one, I usually start with a 60-minute session, and then there's also the 3 session, which is actually over a fortnight, like you're fortnightly. So it's 3 sessions fortnightly. So you get 6 weeks of support in that time. So it's actually a really great offer with the membership as well. So you've got that online on-demand backup system that to access anytime you want, as well as me, as well as the fortnightly calls. So there's a couple of things I'm working through at the moment on how to best offer value and real help. But the transformation is just in the small stuff you do every day, right? And step by step, baby steps, step by step, every little action you do is what you, hey Cheryl, how are you, darling? It's in the small stuff, because it's just repeated. And it really is basic stuff, right? It's not hard. It's not even, I'm not sure what's hard about it. I guess our emotions is what's hard about it. Our emotions, the overwhelm, the overthinking, all of that stuff is what makes it hard. It's not the actual doing the things, right? So I think reconnecting back into you, this Kickstart I talked about yesterday, is more of a reconnection so you can get going again. So, at some point we disconnect, I think, from ourselves, from what we want. So going back to connecting inward and looking at what you want, focusing on that, that's how we move forward in baby steps. So I'll post it's in the guides too. By the way, in this group, under the tabs, there's guides and there's announcements, where there's some videos in there, and the files. So daily checklist is already in there. There's meal plans in there. There's workouts. There's little mini courses, live mini courses like this that I've done, that I've actually popped in there. So, 3-day and 5-day, and you can go in there. Workouts, there's a 5-day workout challenge. There's a few things in there that are really great, little goodies in there that you can go and access, right? And have free training. There's lots of videos. Otherwise, go through the videos. There's lots of trainings like this, workouts. There's just things, recipe meal plans, all sorts of stuff. So, but I guess the idea of working one-to-one, or even in a smaller container or group, is that I can guide you to what you need without you trying to find everything. But go there and have a look anyway, and see what pops out at you, right? The other thing I want to just mention before I go is yesterday I posted a list of ideas for values, or they were just words, right? There's many words you could add, and some may resonate with you, some may not. But by going back to looking at your gifts, your talents, your strengths, your desires, your wants, the things you stand for, the things you're about, the things you love, your passion, things that people love about you. If you asked a friend, what would they say about you? Would they say you were really generous and kind, or extremely vibrant and enthusiastic and infectious? You know what I mean? Like, I shouldn't use the word infectious in these days, should I? But like that energy that people just love, right? That they can't get enough of. That's why they love you. So, like, what is it? So have a look at some of those words, even if you print that out. I think there's a values list in the guides as well. I probably put the whole, otherwise let me know and I'll send it to you, the actual Word doc. But have a look, and you can do Googles on value lists as well. And I want you to have a look and see if anything popped out at you, anything that was really obvious that you just thought, yep, that is me. Yep, that's me. That's me. Yep, that's what someone would say. Yep, that's what I love. That's what I stand for. Try and pick some that stand out, and then from there, I want that to be refined down to the top ones that you believe that is your compass, really. So if you're feeling a bit lost, I always find what you're valuing, where you're spending your time, your energy, that's what you value typically, right? And I think we forget and we get a bit lost. So if you're a bit lost, go back to your values, what you stand for, where you spend your time, what you want to do more of. And that's the other thing. What do you want to do more of? What do you want to do less of, right? I am going to talk about that in another, I don't know, I think 2 days we've got the energy, and we're talking about zapping energy and giving energy. What are those things, right? What are the things that you want to do more of? What are the things you want to do less of? So we're going to talk about those things. But I think it's a really great start if you are not sure, and I do think our values change. They do, right? Our values change, where we spend our time, what we want to do with our life, our purpose, things that are meaningful, right? We don't want to do things that are not meaningful. We don't want to spend time with people we don't, that actually drain our energy or not making us feel good, all those kinds of things. So I want you to look at that list and see what you think. If you're fine with it, don't worry. It's just as a bonus. Like, I want you to maybe, like when I'm coaching, that's where we start usually, is back at the strengths and the gifts and the valuing and where we're spending our energy and what we want. It's really back to that vision, which is why we're talking about creating the best day. What would your best day look like? That's about redesigning your vision for you, right? And what you want out of your day, what you want out of your life. But we're breaking it down almost hour by hour. But anyway, that'll be enough for today. So I can talk about this stuff forever, especially the daily thing. And I've always, I don't know if it's because I've always had energy. I really want to protect my energy, right? And, and lately I haven't had enough, and I don't know whether it's just the weight of the world or just whatever. I'm not sure. Not taking care of myself as well. So it's one of those things that I really want to, I've always been able to protect my energy. I always had plenty of it. So when I don't have it, it's a concern. But sleep has a big, that has a big part to play. And of course, getting older, I don't remember even worrying about sleep when I was younger. I don't even know if I had sleep. Like, I don't know what I was doing. I was having fun. But nowadays, that is a really big thing. Do not mess with my sleep, right? Don't fuck with my sleep. So, yeah, so that is important. You can't have a best day without being able to, nut out what's going on with the sleep as well. So usually you can get some help, or there's natural remedies. There's lots of things you can do, nightly routines. It might even be that your liver's playing up and you need to cleanse that liver to get better sleep. That's why they say we wake up at about 3. Most people wake up about 3, 4. It's to do with the liver. So there's always a reason, and it might be a visit to the naturopath or do a bit of research yourself. But I highly recommend talking to someone that actually knows what they're talking about when it comes to that, right? In hormones and yeah, there's a few people. I've got a few great friends that actually are really great at that stuff. So I can always put you on to someone that knows the drill with hormones and diet and like dietitian kind of stuff and nutrition. But it all has a lot to play with that. Like, it might be that you've eaten late. It might be that you're eating heavy carbs at night. There's reasons. There's always a reason. So I like to find out what's going on and nut out that reason, or at least send you to someone that can. So have a dance, put the music on. I guess I am a bit of a Motown girl. I don't know why. I think I grew up in the 80s. Maybe there was a lot, 70s. Maybe there was a lot of that kind of crossover, the Motown into the 70s. I don't know what happened there. But especially aerobics. I think because when I was teaching aerobics, it was always that kind of music. It was always that high vibe, fun music. So I'm gravitating back to that actually, and I don't mind a bit of a grapevine and a scuffle. I didn't do a grapevine today. Next time. So yeah, just don't overthink it. Like I said, put the music on. You'll be surprised, and I'll rustle up some research on the megahertz thing, because that is really fascinating to me, that we have control over our vibe and our vibration. To me, that's amazing. So any questions, let me know. So I've been trying to have okay, great. 90 tab, but it's slow to work. Okay, yeah, herbs, herbal. I'm big on herbal, definitely. There's a few companies out there that are doing sleep really well. Goodnight Co, Happy Hormones. So there is things that you could get that would, enhance or assist, because they assist with the hormones. Oh hell, there's a big like a bird. Yeah, that can assist with the hormones, because that's typically what it is, or it's stress, which again affects hormones and affects gut. There's a lot of things you can tackle it from the gut health point of view. So getting help is really important when it comes to trying to solve those problems. And I hope you're going well, you girls. I spoke to Cheryl. Hi, Jules. So you're going well? Just seeing if I can read this. Understanding it all. Yeah, I think for me, less is more when it comes to the memory and being mindful. But it's never been great. I think because I do move quick, like my brain kind of flits everywhere. Like I'm not very, I don't know what that is. It's not ADHD. I don't think it's that. But there's certainly switches a lot, right? Even between conversations, like it's always been like that. So I do have, I think my memory, yeah, I forget what I'm doing, where I'm meant to be, but it could be hormones as well, being menopausal. Yeah, who knows? It's not even a worry. As long as I remember what I'm doing most of the time. All right, well, let me know if you need any help. Have a look at the values, have a look in the tabs and the guides and all that for anything that jumps out. But like I said, I can help shortcut that. If there's something specific you're needing help with and you're wanting to work on, we can shortcut that, and I can just point you in the right direction of what you need at the time, or what tools I've got that will help, or what my thoughts are on that, because a lot of the time my coaching really is intuitive. It isn't from a textbook. I just can't explain it. Maybe it's experience of 35 years of helping women, and I know this stuff and I know what it's like. I'm not sure where it all comes from, but I just have a way of putting it together. And I was thinking the other day, another client said to me, I hit the nail on the head. I would hear that every client. Oh, you've hit the nail right on the head. If you tell me what's going on, I can tell you where to start. I can tell you what your next steps are. I can tell you what I think's happening, and you know yourself. And I think that's probably the biggest problem, is we stopped listening to ourselves. We stopped trusting our instincts. We stopped listening to the knowing that we already know is true, for us as to what's happening. And we're still trying to navigate what we're supposed to be doing according to everyone else. And that is what mucks it up. So I think going back to trusting your own instinct, listening to your body, because it's telling you what to do. Your soul and your heart knows what to do, right? They're the things that guide you. So like I said, if you're lost, start with the values. We can start with writing things down every day or at night to dump it out of your system to give you more peace. Because really that's what you want, is inner peace. Don't you? I do. I want peace and harmony. I want energy. I want love. I want happiness. And I want good health, right? So being healthy isn't, being fit and, having the body that, we want it to be functional, right? We want it to do the things we need it to do when we want to do them. We want to wear what we want to wear. But at the end of the day, there's lots of ways of being healthy. So, when you're young and all you're doing is working on your abs, whatever, you don't care about the other stuff. At this age, I care about the other stuff, right? Health is part of it. My mindset is really, really important. My mental health is really, really important. That's a bigger factor. So it is a holistic approach. So I only do soul-led holistic approach, right? So if you're after, diets and things, that's not what we do here. I teach you to listen to yourself, to enjoy the food that you want to eat without, and by looking after yourself, the diet thing takes care of itself. You don't need to worry about the weight if your hormones are balanced, if you are functioning well, if you're sleeping well, if you're moving your body, if you've got muscle tone, if you're balanced in hormones. Like if you're taking care of yourself, then the weight will take care of itself, right? That's what I believe. That's what I've always believed. Anyway, to me, that's it. So if that resonates with you, if that's your thing, then you're in the right place. You've come to the right group. If you're looking for keto diets and things like that, then no, I'm not into dieting, but I can, I do believe in a balanced mix, right? A good mix, a healthy mix, because I know what it takes as a weight loss coach. like, did you know that you have to have 55% of good fats to help you with weight loss, right? 55%. Now, no one knows that. And the people that are doing without the good fats or going without fat altogether, they're actually creating an imbalance in doing that, because the muscle, and the same with the carbs. We need carbs. Our brain needs carbs. Our energy fuel is based on carbs. Doesn't mean high carbs, doesn't mean having donuts. It just means being educated around that and eating healthily in ways that your body's going to accept and use the food, right? And give you the energy that you need. So there's a lot of little things, you know, I'll talk about nutrition. I'm sure I've got that in one of these days here. And I may even come up with a workshop that brings this all together. I think that'd be worth doing and sorting out some things that's going on, depending on what everyone's talking about at the moment and what's bothering you. I think putting together some sort of mini workshop series would be something that I think would be helpful to tackle, because this is obviously the holistic, just snippets of everything that I think is important to start with, which is important anyway. But maybe, yeah, I'll have a think about how I can serve. Any ideas of what would be interesting to you, let me know. But I will catch you later. I'll go and do something. I don't know, maybe I'll make a smoothie, or I'll go and wash the floor. I don't know. I'll do something. Walk the dog. I haven't done a big walk yet, so I'll better do that. All right, I will catch you later. Any questions, let me know. Okay, bye.